Well, Leamington walk out for their first home league game of the 2019-2020 campaign here at the Phillips 66, and following an impressive 2-2 draw away to Kidderminster Harriers on the opening day, they'll want to hit the ground running on their own turf here this evening. It's a landmark day for Paul Holleran, and in his 500th game in charge of the Breaks, he is seeking his 229th win as Leamington boss, a victory that would give his side their first 3 points off the season. The Breaks have won 7 of their last 10 opening home league fixtures, and will be hoping that tradition plays into their hands this evening. Neither side have been able to find a winner in the previous 4 meetings between these two. 2014 was the last time all 3 points were taken from this fixture, as Brackley edged the Breaks by 2-1. Josh March has big boots to fill in the number 9 shirt as he makes his home league debut. The former Alfchurch man takes up the mantle left by Colby Bishop after he made his dream move back to the Football League with League One outfit Accrington Stanley in July. Jack Edwards captains the side despite his red card on Saturday, as the suspension doesn't come into effect until the Curzon Ashton game here at the weekend. Visitors Brackley Town pose a firm challenge in Leamington's first home game of the campaign, and after a third place finish, the Saints narrowly missed out on the playoff final, beaten in a dramatic penalty shootout by Spennymoor Town. They'll be looking to go all the way this season and are firmly tipped by the bookies to be battling for promotion throughout the campaign. Here's Byrne. Miles. Low ball into the penalty area. Walker picked it up here. Glenn Walker. Speculative effort. It was well worked by Walker. Had to deal with the bouncing ball. Chose to strike the volley across goal. Just couldn't quite keep it down, but good effort nonetheless. Another chance for Leamington to load that box with bodies as Joe Clark will look to deliver this long ball. It's in towards Edwards at the back post. Edwards wins the header across. Lane is there, and Jack Lane gives Leamington the lead on the 16-minute mark. The centre-back linking up with the captain. It was Jack Edwards with the initial header. He peeled off at the back post, sent it back across goal, and Jack Lane was there to gobble it up and head past goalkeeper Danny Lewis to give the Breaks a 1-0 lead in their first home league game of the season. Fantastically measured ball into the box by Joe Clark. Equally well done by Edwards, just cushioning the header enough for Jack Lane to run onto it and meet it with pace, just to power it past Danny Lewis. No chance for the Brackley Town goalkeeper. Breaks 1, Brackley Town 0. Moore and Bedsy looking to turn away from March. Good pressure from the Leamington number 9. Here's Langmead. Langmead forced onto his left foot, wide to Franklin. Deft touch by him, inviting Ndlovu down the line. And Ndlovu turns away from English well. Still going in Ndlovu. This is a great run from him. He'll offload to Byrne. Denied by a stretching Jake Weaver. Firm save from him. Back it comes. But a really important save there for Jake Weaver. First in front of his home crowd, and he got down well to his right hand side to deny a stinging effort from Shane Byrne. Danny Lewis restarting play then from his 6-yard box. Matt Lowe rising well above Lane. Baker can drive forward. Glenn Walker with the overlapping run. Walker's left-footed ball across. Jake Weaver able to comfortably dive down to his left-hand side to deny any scraps for Ndlovu. But Carl Baker proved to be the architect in that number 10 role, just linking defence into attack. Is Byrne. Byrne once again. Walker, edge of the penalty area. This is dangerous for Leamington. Franklin. English needs to stop the cross. Franklin manages to get the ball into the penalty area. Weaver with a confident fist out. As Low on the turn. Will come back for Franklin. More on Bedsy into the feet of Lowe. Look to work onto his left foot. Here's Walker then. Can measure the cross. Lane out towards Lowe. Look to control on the edge of the penalty area. He gave too much of that to Edwards, who made the vital challenge. And Leamington can clear and get their players out of their penalty area. Here's Baker. Back to goal, turns well, driving inside. Still going Baker. Using all his experience there, inviting Miles forward. Unrelenting assault from Brackley. English heard the call and opted the best course of action was to head the ball out for a corner behind. In towards Edwards, Langmead away. Clark does well to help it back on towards English. Mace will look to deliver. In it goes to the penalty area. March rising, and it's off the post from Jack Edwards. I think many inside the ground thought that was heading for that bottom corner. Fantastic reactions from the Leamington captain. Now it's the first corner of the second half as Brackley Town look to immediately bring themselves level with the home side. As Shane Byrne is across to take it in front of those travelling Brackley supporters in towards the front post. It has it crossed the line. The referee is unmoved. And Lovu is convinced that that went into the net. But Jake Weaver is a very relieved man. He was sprawling all over the place, but is happy to see the ball safely in his arms. But took a few ricochets there. Brackley fans behind that goal and the players in the penalty area convinced that the ball had crossed the line. But the referee had other ideas. And it remains 1-0 to the home side. Again, March looking to close down Langmead, but he manages to get the ball up towards Nlovu. Edwards turns away from Moron-Bedsy well. Edwards searching the run of Anderson. He's taken that well in his stride. Came Anderson, faced by Miles. Yellow shirts arriving in the middle if he can get his head up. Anderson's ball across, and it was Gittins arriving. Couldn't get over the effort. What an opportunity for Leamington to double their lead, but Callum Gittins just unable to keep his effort down. It looks like it will be Baker. Plenty of league experience. Carl Baker. Up he steps then. Strikes towards goal. Almost found the bottom corner. Certainly had Jake Weaver scrambling to his right hand side. Inches away from nesting in that bottom corner. But the score remains 1-0 to the home side. Here's English then, whipping the ball across. Josh March takes it well on the turn. I think he had more time than he thought. Not a red shirt near him in the penalty area. Took his shot quickly on the spin, but straight into the arms of Danny Lewis. Edwards wins the flick on. Byrne inside. Jordan Murphy brings Callum Gittins into the attack. Now it's with Junior English. Plenty of green grass for him to run into down the right hand side. Back to Gittins, lets the ball roll across him. Still with Gittins now, here's Murphy. Murphy inside, good footwork from him. Still with Jordan Murphy. Clark being caught late there. The attack will continue into the penalty area. There's Edwards! And it's inches wide. I think a lot of Leamington fans behind that goal thought that was going to creep into the bottom corner. Jack Lane with a big header. Edwards takes it well and holds off the challenge of Moron-Bedsy. Gittins with a fantastically weighted ball out towards Jordan Murphy. He could look to take on Walker now. Murphy into the penalty area. Still going Jordan Murphy on his left foot and finds the bottom corner. What a goal from Jordan Murphy. And he doubles the Leamington lead. Well, it was all down to him. The Solihull lone man, who's renewed his contract with Leamington, shows the fans just how much he is worth to this team. Got it on the right hand side, a fantastically weighted ball by Callum Gittins to find him. Beautiful ball to the right hand side with the outside of his foot, but all the hard work done by Jordan Murphy, just skipping his way past Glenn Walker and finishing fantastically into that bottom corner, just sweeping it away from Danny Lewis. Tidy finish from Jordan Murphy, and he makes it 2 goals to the good here at the Phillips 66. Good switch out towards Day, takes it well. Just waits for support before offloading, but can only find a yellow shirt in the form of Callum Gittins. Now it's with Josh March. He's all alone up there for the time being. Has plenty to do, Josh March. Danny Lewis clears convincingly. Releasing Murphy down the right-hand side. Brackley is stretched here. Murphy is March. Deflected behind. Up for another Leamington corner. This time it's lobbed in. And it was Edwards arriving. But saw his header fly over the crossbar. Penalised for a foul nonetheless. Armstrong does well to bring the ball down and release Ndlovu down the left-hand side. James Mace retreating. Ndlovu into the penalty area. Fantastic save by Weaver, and Leamington clear away. Such a vital save there by Jake Weaver. And there's the full-time whistle, and it's a 500th game to remember for Paul Holloran. His first 3 points of the 2019-2020 season against, league favourites Brackley Town. And it has to be said, Leamington defended fantastically. Very convincing performance from them, which gives Paul Holloran his 229th win of his Leamington career. As it's finished here, Leamington 2, Brackley Town 0.
So Jordan, you happy to be back on loan here at Leamington?
Yeah, very happy. I mean, we spoke at Solihull, and they felt it best to come out and get some games. And from being here last year, working with the lads, knowing Paul like I do, it was a no-brainer really. It was my only decision almost. Been class since the moment I got here last year, and I've heard from Steno, other people that have been here, that it's been the same the whole time. I think that's credit to the gaffer and then the lads that he brings in. He always brings in a good group of lads.
So from your stint here, you got a bit of a fan favourite reputation, which you repaid today with a great goal.
Yeah, a game like today, it was always going to be difficult for us to create chances. We knew we weren't really going to see a lot of the ball, so I just decided to have a go for it, and luckily it bubbled in, trickled in. It's my sort of goal.
So Paul, a great way to celebrate your 500th game with a great win against a good side Brackley.
Definitely, yeah. Putting the 500th game to one side, it's a nice occasion, but the fact that you've got one, you know that it's what, playoff final, playoff semi-final, trophy winners. You know what's coming. They've recruited well again in the summer, and it's and I thought we knew we'd have to probably sacrifice a little bit of space first half. They've got such clever players with Shineburn and Carl in there. They move you about well, pass the ball well. Dealt with most of it. Got some great blocks in when we had to. And then the key thing was on the changeover, trying to be a threat on the counter and get our wide men in the game. It was hard first half because of the pace of the game. But we've defended our box well. We've used the ball okay. And obviously set plays, we looked a threat. That was something that we worked on last week with this game in mind, trying to just get the ball as quickly as we could in and around the box, with the targets we've got. And listen, it's paid dividends. We've scored a goal, and we nearly made it 2-0 at the end of the first half. But then second half, then it's a real National League North game. It opened up a bit, and it was end to end. But I just thought then we really used our counter-attacking well. We passed the ball better, got our wide men in the game. Listen, goals win games. They could have made it 1-1. We've had a couple of chances to get 2-0 up. You didn't know which way it was going to go. But it's come from a good bit of play. We managed to get the second goal. And listen, it was when we've been pretty comfortable then, and some massive performances tonight.
So Paul, it was a big summer with some of the big players leaving. But how big was it recruiting some of the players this year? Some big players you brought in. Yeah,
well, listen, I mean, obviously at the end of last season we had a few loans, a couple of short-term loans, and obviously, there's one or two big characters gone, and obviously Colby. Knew it was coming. We'd started probably really getting around second half of last season, really getting out and looking at one or two players, hoping to put the groundwork in. And listen, I think looking at, they've all got the attributes, to do well. There's always a little bit of gamble, but listen, I think people that have washed Josh and Cayman. They've seen bits of Gift. They've seen Reece tonight. They've seen Ravi little bits. And I say Jake in goal. Kieran's just getting himself right now. You know, they're all young. They're all desperate to do well. And they've got the ingredients that, you know, that you look for. I think if you look at Brackley tonight, they've got a lot of polished, finished players and good players. And probably go for some players that young, you know, Gifts from, you know, step 6, 7, whatever, 5, 6, 7. You know, Ravi's come up and Josh has stepped up. Cayman stepped up. Kieran hasn't played for a bit with his injury, so you know they've got a lot to prove, and hopefully we give them a good environment and a good grounding. And you know, listen, we want to do well, and you never know. As I've always said, listen, there's regular things happening there. There's players moving, so I'm pretty sure one of them will get a move as well, which will be great. But so no, it's tough at the moment. Look, they've all gelled and they're all. It's a good spirit, and I think you see that Saturday. I think you see Saturday when you're really up against it Saturday, and you find a way to get that equaliser, and then you look again tonight and you see how we've dug in the first half, and you look at groups of people and players and men. You can deal with that, and then we've had enough quality then to spring. So lots of energy about us, lots of young boys who want to do well. Some are going to have to be patient, some will, some won't. That's football. But we're delighted. We're delighted to get what we've got on board, and at the moment we've got a nice little strong squad. Connor Taylor's just missed out sadly last couple of games, and Kieran's nearly there now. Young Ben Newey around the place. So listen, we're delighted where the squad is at the moment.